Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Today, we're going to talk about whether the fat burning zone really works. And in a previous episode called What is the Fat Burning Zone, I told you all about this mysterious fat burning zone, which I defined with the following example. If you burn 200 calories per hour while you're walking and burn, say, 60% of those calories as fat, then you burn 120 fat calories per hour on that walk. But if you burn 600 calories per hour while jogging and only burn, say, 40% of it as fat during that time, you still burn 240 calories of fat per hour, twice as much as when you were walking, even though when you were walking, you were burning 60% fat, and when you were jogging, you were burning 40% fat. Using this concept, the point at which fat burning peaks during exercise is referred to as the fat burning zone. Well, you can go read or listen to that episode to learn more about how to find your own personal fat burning zone, how to burn fat fast, and how to use the fat burning zone in your workout. It's Get Fit Guy episode 15, and you can find it over at quickanddirtytips.com. Today, we're going to learn the latest and greatest research on the fat burning zone and give you more tips on how exactly to use it. So, if I covered everything about the fat burning zone in episode number 15, why am I doing this follow-up today? Well, it's because of the results of a recent study, and the purpose of this study was to test the hypothesis that 10 weeks of supervised exercise training at the maximal fat oxidation intensity, aka the fat burning zone, would decrease body fat and increase fat burning, even if calories weren't restricted and the people in the study weren't on any kind of special diet. Well, the results are hardly shocking. It turns out that when performing 5-hour-long aerobic sessions in the fat-burning zone each week for 10 weeks, study participants experienced significant decreases in total body weight, body mass index, body fat percentages, and abdominal fat mass. They also had good changes in their concentrations of triglycerides, leptin, and blood glucose. As a matter of fact, although many personal trainers and exercise gurus preach the message that aerobic cardio training in the fat-burning zone won't work at all, these study participants shed 8% body fat with this strategy, with zero dieting whatsoever. Now, here's the rub. There was no comparison in this study to other forms of exercise like high-intensity interval training or weight training, and that's important to note because when it comes to optimizing your fat loss and your body composition, along with maintaining youthful muscles and hormones, both of those other forms of exercise, intense training and weight training, have repeatedly been shown to be superior to steady-state, low-intensity aerobic training. You should also know that the study subjects were obese. And often, if you're obese, you're going to lose weight no matter what form of exercise you do, simply because you're forced to move around more mass, period. But let's say that you want to try this aerobic-only approach to lose fat. Well, I've got 3 quick and dirty tips to make your aerobic exercise in the fat-burning zone even more efficient. The first is to exercise fasted. Fasted exercise in the aerobic zone does not rapidly deplete your muscles' carbohydrate levels, and it's not that stressful. So you can typically get away with doing fat-burning zone cardio without actually eating a pre-workout meal. You can even wait for a few hours after you've finished fat-burning zone exercise for a post-workout meal. While this is not a good strategy if you want to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, it is a good strategy if you just want to burn as many fat calories as possible. Number 2 is to exercise cold. It seems like I've been beating this drum quite a bit lately, but the added fat-burning benefits of forcing your body to stay warm during exercise are simply too big to ignore. Do your aerobic fat-burning zone cardio in a cool pool as a swim, or outdoor on a crisp, cool morning, or just take a cold shower before and after any fat-burning exercise. And number 3 is to use caffeine. Caffeine can give you a slight edge when it comes to helping you oxidize just a few extra fatty acids as a fuel. And that's not true just for caffeine, but for other caffeine-like compounds like green tea, raspberry ketones, and some other compounds I talk about in my article on fat loss supplements, which I'll link to in the show notes for this episode over at quickanddirtytips.com. So you could, for example, wake up fasted, have a cup of coffee or green tea, and then head out the door for an hour of fat-burning zone cardio, to get a potent mix of each of these 3 fat-burning efficiency tips. And just in case you don't get a chance to tune into episode 15, which is a good detailed primer on the fat-burning zone, here's how to find your own personal fat-burning zone. Step 1, warm up on a bike for 10 minutes. Step 2, pedal at your maximum sustainable pace for 20 minutes. You should be breathing hard and your legs should be burning, but you should be able to maintain the same intensity for the full 20 minutes. Record your average heart rate during those 20 minutes. And then, finally, subtract 20 beats from that heart rate. When you add or subtract 3 beats from the resulting number to get a range, that's your peak fat burning zone. So if your average heart rate over those 20 minutes is 170, subtract 20 to get a heart rate of 150, subtract 3 and add 3 to get 147 to 153 as your maximum fat burning zone. So if you have more questions about this, you can go to facebook.com/getfitguy, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And until next time, I'm Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.